Kimetsu no Yaiba was a great success. I don't think anyone can doubt that. It's gotten very high praise. It's sales speaker itself since the start of the anime. How many people have got on board with both praise for the series, but also manga sales have skyrocketed. And we already had what right before that. Doctor Stone, and you had The Promised Neverland. A lot of stuff coming out of Shonen Jump. Getting big hits. And what is next on the agenda? What is the next series to come out that will be a big hit? And for those who haven't checked it out yet, I'm gonna keep it pretty brief and give it a description of the series in case you want to check it out. And the pictures in this slideshow, there's only a couple. I wanted to show some good ones without it being too spoilery. But the series Jujutsu Kaisen, which if you haven't checked it out, you should at least give it a try. It's a very good series. The author thinks up a lot of things very thoroughly. The whole description and of like characters, power systems, choreographed fights. You get that really well in Kimetsu no Yaiba. I think that one of Kimetsu no Yaiba's best features is how well it's able to choreograph its scenes. And Jujutsu Kaisen, I think personally, is easily can level up to that, if not better at times. And the art as well just speaks for itself. Like it looks so good. And when it gets an anime, I think it'll really take off, and it'll look so much more attractive to the average viewer once they see like some of these scenes, all in well fluid animation. And I don't think the series has a lot of an issue with getting set up with a bad studio. They've been really well with a lot of the series lately getting put out into anime adaptations. The only one that's been a little bit wavy was Black Clover, but Black Clover doesn't. It wouldn't work well as a seasonal, whereas you have Kimetsu no Yaiba, Promise Neverland, Doctor Stone, and I would guess Jujutsu Kaisen all going seasonal animes, and it fitting their own setting, whereas like Black Clover didn't. Its pacing and it needed to be weekly. But with Jujutsu Kaisen, you can easily get it to seasonal and it to work very well because of the way that the arcs are formatted and spaced out. And it all around, like it needs a really good animation studio that can do choreographed scenes. They need to have some of these moments just very emphasized of their, the tension build up, the explosive nature of like the characters in it. And a lot of like visual effects need to be very crisp at times, just because of the quick changes that the writer Akutami is able to lay out. So if you haven't yet, I would suggest checking out the series, because I knew that Promised Neverland was going to get really big. I knew that I wasn't 100% on Doctor Stone. I knew Doctor Stone was going to have a niche audience. It's going to have a very specific type because it's different, but it's not the same as like when I saw Kimetsu no Yaiba getting animated. I was like, this is going to take off really well. And not only just like it getting animated, but it being done by a really solid studio. Now, as long as Jujutsu Kaisen doesn't get completely shafted in that regard of what studio it's able to, get the good graces of bringing this series to full animation. And there actually is, funny enough, a clip, because one of the characters in this, you see him as Satoru Gojo. Before the series even got an anime announcement, he ended up getting an animated scene and a voice actor. And I'm very curious to know if that voice actor will go on the role of the character when it eventually gets an anime. And even just that character, just as a side note, it's funny because even at Jujutsu Kaisen's Jump Festa, like first year at Jump Festa, Satoru Gojo is actually the character representing the series and not the actual main character. And it's really weird because like there's a zero volume for the series where the main character is a different guy, and then for the rest of the series, it's the main series character. Like it's the main character, but sometimes other characters actually kind of like take spotlight. It likes to shift. Like the character itself, the main character Yuji, he is in the placeholder of main character, but it's not like he's just spotlight all the time. It's not heavy on him. It's a majority of like spread up from the other characters, but at the same time though he gets a good amount while the other characters all getting like deserved amounts as well. So check out the series. Like I said, one thing that I will say if you like a lot of the more raw nature in some of these more recent shonen, something like Kimetsu no Yaiba or Promised Neverland, where you can still have that shonen aspect, but you get a lot more vicious scenes, a lot more serious nature. I enjoy a lot of series, but Jujutsu Kaisen is definitely one of my favorites at the moment. And the rawness of some of this, can get pretty vicious. Like some crazy stuff. Again, I don't want to get into too many spoilers because of that. I mean, right here you can see the main character going to punch somebody with the bloody stump of his arm where he doesn't have a hand, and he's just gritting his teeth and spitting up blood at the same time against some creepy monster. So, like I said, I mean, right here, this dude gets split up, he gets filleted, and gets, like, pieces of him ripped out while his sliced cheese version of himself falls to the floor. So yeah, just check it out. It's such a fun series. At the same time, the author, you can tell how much he plans things out, how much he, like, well establishes the plot, way that characters intertwine with each other, and way that their backstories end up, mingling at the same time while being their own story, while at the same time getting affected by somebody else's interactions with it. And how both sides end up kind of like going down their own pathways and alternating from those. Like, again, I don't want to give spoilers, but you'll know what I mean when you get into the series. So check it out, Jujutsu Kaisen. You can read the title. I'll make sure to put it in the actual title of the video. But other than, I mean, right here, you can see it right here, Jujutsu Kaisen, easy to find. And a lot of it is on the Shonen Jump app, but they only have they have the second half and the first few chapters. So if you want to read a lot of it, you got to look for it online. But other than that, though, you're gonna until then. Actually, the first volume comes out in December, so get to that. And I gotta say one thing about Jujutsu Kaisen as well is all the volume covers look great. I'm actually really looking forward to buying the official release to put on my bookshelf next to all my other manga, so you can join it while at the same time just being an absolutely good-looking volume cover and just a series I enjoy. So drop a comment below if you've picked up the series already, if you're interested, if you are now interested after watching this video, and if you don't believe me, like I'm telling you, the only way that Jujutsu Kaisen is not going to blow up when it gets an anime is if it gets a bad studio, but I don't think that it'll happen because it's picking up really well in Japan. It's very well received. It's won a bunch of awards already. I don't think a bunch of awards. It's won a good amount of awards already for a series less than 2 years old. So, give it a look. And then when it blows up, you're going to look back and say, yeah, I guess he was right. I'm just telling you. Get a look in beforehand so, you can say that you're on board with it before it became, a big anime and then everyone jumps on. Plus, then you won't run into spoilers because, as a side note, I feel bad because the Jujutsu Kaisen fan base is terrible at giving people spoilers. The manga fans absolutely just run everything over the anime-only people and just spoil stuff for them for fun. You don't want that with Jujutsu Kaisen, so get to the manga now before the anime comes out, and by the time you think about getting into it, someone spoils it for you. So, putting that out there right there. Other than that, comment below, thumbs up the video. I'd appreciate it if you would thumbs up the video, press the like button and subscribe button, and check out my other videos. From that, I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.